Welcome, Capricorn, to the Temple of Consciousness. Please come in. You are now attending your October 2024 ASTRO-TAROT forecast. This is a reading that's relevant to you if your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign is Capricorn. What I try to do is I try to synchronize, blend together the two mystical arts of astrology and the tarot. The astrological portion of it involves only the transit of two planets, Mars and Venus. Sometimes I mention other celestial phenomenon when it does impact the month. But what the tracking of these two planets does is it puts us right in the moment. And before we begin, I had a comment about someone regretting that I've gone down the path of too much emphasis on astrology, because I used to do the tarot exclusively. But when I did the tarot, I always included the astrological associations that the cards had or have. And this brings them even closer. They're sister mystical arts. Astrology is a bit more dogmatic in the sense that it follows cyclical patterns of the stars that repeat over various time spans. But I believe, as above, so below. As it is on the outside, so it is on the inside. There is no division. And our ancestors were smart enough to realize the significance of those motions, not only as a time table, time clock, but also as a means of accessing deeper spiritual information about ourselves and the world we create. So the tarot, on the other hand, I don't want this to be a lecture, but the tarot, on the other hand, is more spontaneous, having to do with pure intuition, the apparent randomness of the card selections actually draw upon the intuition more. And I like the combination of the two. So I just wanted, I don't know why, I didn't mean to lecture, but to clarify. That's why I included more emphasis on the astrology. And so let's begin by tracking the transit of Mars. And what is Mars?
Mars, known to the ancients as the god of war, transits each house for 40 days and symbolizes aggressive, forward-moving energy, passionate energy. Which house is Mars energizing this month?
All right, Capricorn. Here you are. And Mars is in Cancer the entire month, right here, directly across from you, placing it in your 7th house of relationships, of close personal relationships. Now, when we have Martian energy in the house of relationships, it can be volatile, or that intensity can either deteriorate into argument and anger, or it can elevate to passion and intense interest in one another. So this is the effect of Mars. Everything is a choice. The energy is always, in effect, neutral. You do with it what you've already evolved on a personal level to be able to use it in that regard, whether positively or negatively. But it is definitely a great deal of emphasis, dynamic, assertive energy towards relationship. Maybe you want to pursue finding a partner, or you put more energy into improving a relationship, or you simply bring it to a level of new passion, all of which is always your choice. So that's the backdrop created by Mars. So let's look at the transit of Venus now.
Venus, the planet of love, symbolizing pleasure, beauty, compassion, peace, wealth. Venus transits about 5 weeks in each sign. Where is your Venus this month?
Well, Venus is in Scorpio for the first half of the month. And where is Scorpio for you? Here we have Capricorn. Remember, we move in a clockwise fashion. So the house immediately behind you is the 12th house. And behind that is the 11th, Scorpio. So Venus is in your 11th house. And that's a beautiful, beautiful place for it to be. Because you bring that love, compassion, charm, sociability into the house of social communication, social interaction, the creation of friendships, the development of friendships. This puts sort of a magic touch onto your relationships, sort of like a little fairy dust over your relationships, making them harmonic, honest, and full of love. So whatever that close bond that you have with someone, that will get closer. And if you've had a rift, then that will heal. Venus heals. This is a healing of relationships. This is the spawning of relationships. And since we have Mars in the house of relationships specifically, because the 11th house is friendships, social circles, groups, your community. It's sisterhood, brotherhood. Whereas the relationships described by the 7th house are more personal and more intimate. So both of these areas are being moved by very different energies, because the Venus energy and the Mars energy are opposites. So you may find the pleasant social gatherings, pleasant social conversations, lovely companionship through group activities. This is beautiful. Now for the second half of the month, that was in your 11th, it moves into Sagittarius, your 12th house, Venus in the 12th. Well, this is a lot deeper, so maybe you stop your socializing for a little while and meditate. Because the 12th house is a really special place. It's the subconscious realm, the place where dreams are made, using the raw material of your intent or memorable and intense experiences. It's sort of like a seething cauldron of either forgotten memories or fears or simply experiences that have evaporated into yourself, let's just say. So this is being lit up by Venus. Self-love. Putting the beautiful energy of Venus, which is about compassion and justice and fairness, deep into your subconscious mind to heal again. To heal now, instead of healing your friendships, your relationships, now you're healing yourself. And that takes a bit of privacy. So whatever sanctuary you can make would be very helpful. Provide at least a space in your house where you can dwell with your own thoughts and not have to be anywhere, do anything. Just be a witness, an observer. That would be the prescription for a successful transit of Venus through your 12th. All right. I did want to add one more just before we go, and that's the solar eclipse. And that happens in Libra, right here in your 10th house of career and business and your professional reputation and how you support yourself through your talents and your skills. And when the sun is being eclipsed, it's being blocked out, blackened out, something is being blackened out. Maybe there's at least the moon is very changeable. And the sun is very intense. So we've got a lot of intensity. So when we have the sun being eclipsed as opposed to the moon, well, then it's something on the outside, something social that you're blocking, that you're pushing out, that you're leaving behind. You no longer are, or at least you're suspicious of the veracity, whether the job suits you, whether it lets you shine, the sun, whether something is blocking you. And it's in your 10th house. So it's associated with your profession or your career. Something in that realm is either being pushed away into the past. So you need to literally block it out and move on. Or that something is being denied. Something is being obscured mentally, psychically. Sort of not wanting to look at it, not wanting to see it. It could be that there's something in your work environment that is mysterious or hidden. All of these things could be applicable. But let's stop there and move on to your tarot forecast. So welcome, Capricorn, to your tarot reading. So before we begin, I just want to express my deep gratitude for those of you who messaged me your concern over my recent family, I guess, crisis. So it made it difficult to bring these readings out in time. So I appreciated very much your understanding. Thank you. And I'm very touched. So, we have a 4-card spread that also can be correlated to the previous astrological forecast. So let's see what is in store from the tarot. The tarot is a much more intuitive tool, but they speak often with similar symbolic language. We have a reversal as your first card, and it's the 4 of Wands reversed. Venus in Aries. With Venus in Aries, Venus is desire, emotion. And Aries is the pioneering spirit. The need for an emotional there is an emotional desire to move in a new direction, to explore more. But you may be experiencing perhaps false starts. And you are perhaps you are scared, fearful of going outside of your comfort zone. 4s are about structure, stability, conformity, staying with the status quo. And when it's reversed, it's that may have gone on too long. And there's a subconscious desire, perhaps, for you to move in a different direction. But it's in conflict with your being very comfortable. Capricorns like comfort and predictability. And so Venus in Aries is asking you to move in a new direction, to honor the desire, to honor the real authenticity of this desire, if it is there. Now, it could also be about a social event that can't seem to get off the ground, or a false start, or can't be completed. something can't be completed, because 4 is a number that suggests we've come to a completion. The house is complete. The foundation is set. Now the foundation is upside down, upset. So this is the energy that we're working with this month, Capricorn. Let's see where it goes. All right. In the position of your challenge, we have the 3 of Pentacles. Pentacles is an earth card, like you. And it is, in fact, it's Mars in Capricorn. It's Mars in Capricorn. And you have Mars in Cancer, astrologically. So you're covered on both ends. So that's very good, because it gives, says that your task, your challenge, is to keep things balanced. To balance the assertive with the receptive, the passive. To demonstrate deep love and affection, but to also remain strong and directed, ambitious and driven. There may be also a collaborative project that is challenging. The image portrays a young architect who has been commissioned to design a church. And the 2 patrons are older, and they are the ones who are commissioning him. But he's on a bench higher up than they. So though he is younger and less experienced, nonetheless he's charged with responsibility and respected for his talents and trusted for his ability to complete the task. And remember, we had the reversed wands, the 4 of wands in the first position, which is incompletion, a task that maybe is in some way gotten out of hand. And this is about you bringing it back, setting order. Asserting your professionalism, meaning that you maintain a level head and balance body, mind, and soul while you work, creating a more reliable foundation for the completion of the project, or the completion of whatever it is you're attempting to complete. This is very good. This is very good. And let's take this out and continue. The next position is the one I always like. It's the unexpected, the surprise, something you may not anticipate. Page of Swords. Pages are about messages. So unexpected messages. The page is impatient. He's young. He's a budding intellectual. developing his mind, and often will seek out projects that are above his level of ability, being an apprentice. So there's this, so you may be dealing with a child or one of your children who are an air sign like Gemini or Aquarius or Libra, and they may be acting very impulsive, impetuous, but this is intellectual curiosity as well, having a young mind. The only thing that the this young and very open-minded page has as a difficulty is that he's unfocused. So the job is to focus that individual, if it's an individual, a young person, to keep them focused, or to do so yourself. And this is also a card of messaging. So since we have your 11th and 7th house of the social environment being very active, then this means that unexpected messages, unexpected communications that are of a very fresh and young nature, having to do with ideas, concepts. This is very stimulating energy, and it may surprise you, some of these messages, I guess, from friends or from, again, an intimate relationship. It's so there's just a lot of intensity around your social circles, your most primary relationships, contacts, associations. And this adds a new spark to it as well, giving you a lot of verbal agility. And so use it wisely. And I think that will be a very exciting aspect. A young person who will be very entertaining. Oh, and we end with, this is interesting, we end with the Lovers. Remember, we have Mars in your 7th house, so it's very appropriate. Your relationship this month is very focal. Choices that you make within this relationship are very poignant. This is also duality, the marriage of opposites. That can be literal, that there's an attraction towards your opposite, and therefore the need for a bridge, be that a Venetian bridge of compassion and love, or a Martian one of intense interest, focus. Both are ingredients that make relationships very vibrant and will grow and develop into something that is ultimately more spiritual. This is Adam and Eve. And they are the symbol of the Empress and the Emperor being married. The marriage of what is on the outside with what is on the inside, so that both work harmonically. Even though the outside, the events that happen to you, may be not exactly in harmony with your heart's desire. What this is saying is that you find bridges, you find a way to compromise and create that bridge, be that an intense, even sexual bridge, or one that is more from the heart, exclusively. But this month, Capricorn, it would be nice if you could, write some poetry, buy some flowers for someone that you love, or even a friend, to express your love for them and appreciation for them, and bring it back into an innocent place of pure, unconditional love. That is your opportunity for the month of October 2024. I thank you very much for being here and for whatever support you feel you can give. And also, I want to thank those again who reached out to me. Thank you. We'll see you next month.